Hello, beautiful people. How are you guys doing today? I want to believe you're staying safe and, of course, staying out of trouble. I remain your girl D for Dahlia, but you can call me Dahlia for short. You know what? I always like to bring to you a very relatable topic, a topic that is human oriented. So, you know what? Today I bring to you this amazing topic which will give you reason to think, a reason to look at the future, a reason to make some amendment, and then give you also a reason to try to reconnect, readjust, and reunite with people. So I bring you this topic by asking you this very question. What do you think is your greatest wealth at old age? Do you think your greatest wealth at old age is money or people? I would like to know your answer in the comment section. I would like to know your opinion. And I would want you to listen to my discussion with regards to what should be your greatest wealth at old age. So sit back and relax. Let's have this amazing conversation. So, old age is that beautiful life cycle which is part of human life, which God has made possible for everyone, including you and I, which we are praying so much, so hard for us to get at that point, at that time, at that life cycle which is considered and called old age. Is a beautiful moment and is a beautiful thing to behold. But then, one of the saddest things in life is watching people spend their whole entire life chasing wealth, chasing assets, chasing money, and then they disregard the most important thing in life, which is making connections. Let me give you an instance. Over here in the Western world, so many people that happens to be together as couple, or rather that happens to have spouse friends or in a relationship, most times do not end up together at old age. It is very rare to see people end up together at old age. And that got me thinking, because life has a way of humbling people, to be honest. You see, one thing with that word old age is that when it gets to that point, the strength that you have right now that you are using to wax, make money, build wealth will no longer be there. So at that point, you have all the wealth, you have the money, but you might not have people around to kind of help you out, to kind of do this old age with you, to kind of make you feel among and feel at home. And that is the most important thing when it gets to that very time called old age. Imagine when you got no strength again in you, the beauty will fade, the wrinkles will come out. You might find it difficult to even walk around, the arthritis will set in. For some people, dementia will start taking place. And you know what? If you take a look at the world of today, you would see that the world is taking a whole time to create lonely people. Yes, why do I say that? We are moving or we are already in the digital time, in the digital world when everyone is living a social media life. Almost everyone is living a social media life. A man, the husband, is on social media or rather on the phone. The wife is on social media or rather on their phone. The kids are on social media on their phone. So the world is creating a digital environment where a whole lot of people are lonely. People barely communicate. People barely have a meaningful discussion. When you look at 24 hours in a day, aside from the time you sleep and the time you goes to work, that very few time that people needed to use to coexist, to reunite, to have a meaningful conversation, they spend virtually half of that time on social media. And this is where I say social media has become an addiction, which, when you look at it, is very hard to fight. I am not an exemption. It is very hard for people to fight this very addiction. So the world is creating lonely people where we have social media addiction, where we have fake online connection. You see people barely goes out to meet people physically. Most connection happen online on social media. You would see people meet themselves online, they start talking online before they meet offline, right? And at the end of the day, most of their time we are online before they make a final decision. And then when they meet offline, and before you know, boom, 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 they start a life. So that online connection could be a real online connection or a fake online connection. It all depends. The genuinity at this point is always questionable to some certain extent. And then this digital time and the digital world make conversation to be unreal. Yes, because when you meet someone online, you and I know that the life online is very, very different from the life offline. A whole lot of people have been misled because of what they saw online. A whole lot of people is living a fake life because of what they saw online. Most people have made a whole lot of people their mentor because they saw them online, but they do not know what their life offline looks like. So online has been like a digital space where people clone who they are not. And you see other people copy what other people clone to be, not knowing that is not real. So these are the point that I'm trying to make by telling you that the world of today is building so many lonely people. Are we talking about emotional isolation? Oh my God. The social media made it hard for a family to communicate mutually. It's either you have Mr. A attention and Mrs. B attention is not there. It's either Mr. A spend most of his or her time online and then Mrs. B hardly get the attention of Mr. A. And this will do what? Create a barrier, create emotional isolation, and make unity or relationship to get sour to some point. Why you will see some set of people also want to use what they see on social media to compare the person that they are with in real life. You know, you want to judge what you see online to what you have in real life. So the digital world is beautiful. The world is going digital. We are in the digital time. I understand. The AI generation time. We are living in the most connected generation digitally, but the loneliest generation emotionally. I say it again. We are living in the most connected generation digitally, but then living in the loneliest generation emotionally. Why do people work so hard in life? Let's look at reason why people work so hard in life to be able to make their lifestyle and their old age to be beautiful. People definitely work so hard in life for survival. They work so hard, they put in their time, work 40 hours, work shift, spend time, go here and there when they were still young. They work so hard to be able to build some future, have some asset, build wealth, so that at their old age they will be able to retire peacefully. But then sometimes life happens. You would say married couple, they end up not being together, right? And now this one is on his separate way, the other one is on her separate way. They started living life individually. Most of them might get entangled again with someone else, or they will choose to live a lonely life, but maybe get entangled with someone or a friend once in a while just to appease their soul. But that does not mean that their old age is guaranteed. And normally people most time get separated or divorced believing that they can do it alone. They can do life alone. I do not need you to do life. I can definitely do life alone. But then, that was when you were still young. But the story always changed, and the story is definitely different when you start retarding. There are so much disadvantage of this technology time to human life to compare to the advantage. I so much believe. Let me give you an instance. Come to the Western world. Do you know you will live in your own house, but you can barely know who your next three neighbors is? The biggest you can know might be your opposite neighbor or your side neighbor, because maybe once in a while you see them come out, so you know what they look like. But that communication, that interaction is hardly there. If there are someone that lives two, three buildings from your house, you might not know that very person. You see where I tell you that life in this recent time is creating lonely people. And this is one thing about Western world which I do not like. Because if it is life in the motherland, life in Africa, I bet you would interact with people to the level that you want. You would easily travel to go to festive, go to activities, go to marriages, go to where things are happening and mix up with people. You can easily have a family member visit you, you visit some family member, you interact with people. Africa is the best place to give you a free and a very communicational community life compared to the Western world. Western world is making the situation worse. And there are so many lonely people in Western world. I say what I said. So people work so hard, of course, for survival, right? To build wealth, to create and have ambition, to build their dreams. They also work so hard because of the pressure from the society. And of course, the last but not the least is for that desire for success, the desire to succeed, the desire to make it in life, the desire to become who they want to be in life. These are most of the reasons why people work so hard in life to make ends meet. And then you see most people, they would be so serious building worlds and actually will not remember that they are alone. Yes, we have so many people that are alone. Let me tell you this story. I used to know a friend who virtually come in my place of work, like he comes to my place of work once in a while, and he is single. He should be in his late 50s. So, and he is not a bad looking guy. He is good, right? And then one of the days we were talking because we talk. So one of the days I called him and I asked him, don't he want to get married? Or even if he don't want to get married, don't he wants to have, a child? Because I already know he does not have, you know, child or children. And he told me that it's already too late. And I said, if you don't want to get married, don't you just want to have a child? Maybe to see if you want to be a single dad or something. So he said no. Now, I want to tell you what Western world does to a lot of people. The Western world will reprogram your mindset to the extent that the things that people take serious back home in Africa, you would take it very lightly. You wouldn't see it as a big deal, right? Because if he happens to be in Africa, he will realize that most of his mates have already got married, right? And maybe have their own children. And another thing is that the family or the family pressure wouldn't let him be single for a whole lot of time. They would pester you and they would pressure you to get someone or to get married. But here in the Western world, like I always say, is built in a very lonely pattern whereby people are encouraged to live an individualistic lifestyle. And that is why you will see a man hit 50 and you look at life, you look at the way the system is set up, and he wouldn't bother to get married or to settle down. It's very, very stressful, I must say, right? And I intentionally decided to tick him a little bit. And I asked him, I said, or are you not into women? And he started laughing. He said, no, that he is into women, that he likes women, you know. But the thing he notices is that he easily gets irritated, right? So he might have you as a friend or a girlfriend, but then before you know, little things will spike him up and then you feel irritated. So for me, those are not vital or valid reason. I believe the best reason to why he don't want to get married or rather have a child is best known to him. But then it's not just him. I am telling you that when you do a statistics, you will see that a whole lot of people in the Western world do not just want to get married, right? Then, for the people that got married, a whole lot of people are divorced or rather separated. So it's either here and there, it's ups and downs. So you would also look and see, man, the most beautiful place to do this family and together is back home, Africa to be precise, or somewhere else outside from the Western world. Yes. So I would want us to look into the reason why people need people in their old age. You see, in this life, sometimes you cannot survive alone. You would definitely need someone along the line. You would definitely need people in your way of life. You would definitely need people in some time in your life to survive. You would definitely do. And why are the reasons why people need people? Human beings need each other when it comes to love, when it comes to companion. Human need each other when it comes to love, when it comes to friendship, when it comes to companionship, emotional support, and of course, in community. People definitely need each other to survive and thrive in life. If I'm to be honest with you, yes, you do know that a large house can easily become an empty space when no one visits. And I would want you to recall and think if you have or if you have old people around you, or if your parents are already old, or if you have been around old people, I want you to think what is that most valuable thing you think they always want at that age? What is most valuable thing you see them enjoy at old age? If you ask me, the old people that I have around me or that I've been with, their biggest gift is conversation, being in a community, family. They just sit, have conversation. They barely even want to finish a bowl of food, right? They eat less. They, go through whatever they go through. They don't have that strength much, but they always want to enjoy conversation. They always want to tell either the grandchildren, the family, those old story tell kind of thing. They want to tell the story, the storyteller line kind of thing, all those tales of moonlight kind of story. Old age is so sweet when you have people around you. At old age, conversation becomes more valuable than assets. Your conversation with the people around you, with family, becomes more valuable than any possession. So these are basically the things that happen in this old age time. Old people always wanting visitors. They need people to visit them. Now, they virtually always or sometimes become sick. And when they become sick, they definitely need people around them to take care of them, right? And also, they also go through this emotional pain of being alone or being forgotten. For some people that aged alone, you know, when it gets to that age, you would see them worry more about being alone. That is where the reality will set in. So, I want to talk right now about the biggest regrets you see people have at that old age. And before I go into this biggest regret that I see people have at old age, I do notice that in this recent time, in this recent world, people are always impatient, right? They hardly want to empathize or sympathize with people. It depends on what the case scenario is, right? So I'm looking at it to say the biggest regret people have when it comes to their old age is noticing that they didn't spend enough time with their loved ones or with their family. They will realize that they worked too much and wasted a whole lot of time at which they were supposed to use to bond with family, friends, or with any of their loved ones. They would also notice that they lose good people. So the fact here is that most people get to old age being financially stable, but then becomes emotionally bankruptcy at old age. So let me say this. I want to speak to younger people, the younger generation, at least if you are still within your 30s and below, or if you are still within your 40s and below, right? These are the things I need you to pay attention to and work on. Build a meaningful relationship. Build a relationship with someone that you know that can take you to where you are going. Build a relationship with someone that have that better understanding with you. Do not just walk into a relationship when you are not too sure of what you want, because these are the reason why most time people end up divorcing each other. These are just one of the reasons. As a young person, build the relationship, spend time with people. Make sure you bond with your parents. Always call your parents. Always check on your parents. Always do things that even when you probably get married, whoever that came to marry you would see how you live with your family and they will want to carry on or rather follow suit with that lifestyle. And of course, do not forget to create memories because memories are good and wonderful. Memories are good and beautiful that they would keep you going no matter how far the journey is. I do want to wrap up here, but I want to say this, right? One day you would become weak. Your hair would definitely start turning gray. The noise of life would definitely become quiet. So, when you work hard and chasing your dreams, chasing wealth, chasing success, do not forget to build love, build relationship, build real connections. Because at old age, one caring person beside you is worth more than a mansion filled with silence. It will be the people around you. It will be that person that is willing to take care of you. It will be that wife or that husband that will stand by you. Or it will be that children that would be willing to take care of you, to have you around, to have you play with the grandchildren, the children, and choose to keep you at home and take care of you rather than taking you to a nursing home, just like you do not have anyone. I need you to know that. So while you are chasing wealth, chasing money in this time that you still have the energy and the strength, I need you to make sure you also build meaningful relationship, connect with genuine and real people. You know the people you need to cut off and know the people you need to bring in your life that can lead you and go with you to the promised land. I want to end it here today. And of course, until I see you all next time, I remain your guide, D. Fidelia. Stay safe, stay blessed, and stay out of trouble. Bye bye.